All right, hi, I'm Mike Kleanowitz, Associate Broker with Cummings & Company Realtors. I'm coming to you live today from our own studio here that we have with John Wald from Main Street Home Loans. And we're using his studio today. So any agents out there looking to do videos, there's a whole studio here you can look at. If you got ideas or whatever, like we did over lunch, everything just started coming up. But today, what I wanted to talk about was the physician and doctor loan program that John has for all you doctors and physicians out there. You know, there's some special deals that you get because of your profession and lots of perks that other people aren't privy to. So this is just something that you might want to pay attention to if you are a doctor or a physician, or you know someone who's a doctor or a physician, want to share this information with them, or maybe they're in med school, you know, and they're not done yet, and they want to plan ahead for when they do become a doctor. It's always good to start planning the process from the beginning and get it rolling. So John, why don't you tell me kind of a little bit about what the doctor loan program is, how it works, some of the perks, some of the cool stuff that come along with that?
So we created a doctor loan here in-house. The doctor loan, so right now, you know, there's very little competition with doctor loans. The doctor loan is specific. It's not just for doctors. If you're a veterinarian or, you know, any profession that is really in the medical field, there's certain requirements, different professions that you have to be at to get this, but let's just call it a doctor loan, right? Mm-hmm. So you could do 95% financing, no mortgage insurance, and let's say you have $400,000 worth of student loans, right? That would crush you on a standard loan. We don't need to count the student loans against you the way that we would count you as if it's in deferment. We wouldn't count it the same way as we would on a standard conventional product. Mm-hmm. So again, we're one of the only local correspondent outlets that have this. And again, we're in the business, real estate, there's 3 rules of real estate: location, 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 right? The same thing applies when you're working with a realtor. The same thing applies when you're working with a lender. If you're a doctor, you're a veterinarian, and you want to buy a home, and you work with a large bank that has a doctor-specific program, and you're going up against an offer that is, say, a regular loan with a local lender, they're probably going to be more inclined to take the local lender over the bigger bank because they know the local lender. So this product that we developed now allows us to compete in that market.
That's awesome.
And it's awesome. So 95% financing, so they just need to put down 5%.
5%.
No mortgage insurance, competitive interest rate. Yep. It's a great product for professionals, specifically doctors that are looking to get into homes. Now,
and can part of that 5% come as a gift from like a parent or something?
Yeah. So there is requirements as it relates to assets post-closing. So, you know, look, the only thing I could say is if this product interests you, you know, every situation is different, so you definitely don't want to just take this as a broad, anybody could get it. Mm-hmm. You want to have a conversation with me. You want to determine whether or not you truly qualify, because there are reserve requirements. There's all these little niches that you need, but it's a great opportunity for a doctor to buy a, you know, $800,000 house and only put down 5%.
Right.
So,
and no mortgage insurance.
Right. So it's a great product. It's really helped us get into that doctor market, which, look, let's be real. We're around some of the best hospitals. Most of the doctors, you know, come for their residency and their, you know, all their training here at Hopkins, University of Maryland, St. Joe's, Mercy. We have all these doctors that are working around here. So this was just a natural fit for us to bring this program to our area.
Yeah, really. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Baltimore and the greater Baltimore area is one of the world's best places for doctors and physicians, especially when you think of like Hopkins, you know. So it just makes sense to have a program like this for people who are in their residencies and doing their time till they get established. And this is also for doctors and surgeons and people who've been around a long time, you know. Maybe you want to buy that really nice house because you see the value in real estate and you want to enjoy your fruits of your labor, so to speak, so, but you don't want to take and have to put down 20%. Or face mortgage insurance, or
you may want to pay off your student loans and not put down as much money on the home and wipe out your student loans. I look at my job as not just somebody that gives you a mortgage. I look at my job as a debt advisor because look, we give people debts for a living.
Right.
That's what a mortgage guy does, right? But my job as a good mortgage loan officer is to be a debt advisor. In some cases, I'll talk to people and say, hey, it may not make sense to put down that 25% that you have from the sale of your old house to this one. It may make more sense to pay off your beach house or pay off the credit cards and car payments and consolidate your debt and have a more manageable mortgage payment rather than a crazy overall payment.
Well, let's talk about that because you said beach house. So let's talk about that. So what about like for a doctor? Does this just for primary?
This is just primary.
Okay, so just for
Great question.
You know where I was going. You know where I was going. I want the house in Florida too. Okay, so it's just for primary residences.
But we do have a great second home product.
Okay.
Which we could discuss at a later time. But the second home product that we have only requires 10% down.
Oh, okay.
Where traditionally, if you're buying a second home, you have to put down 25%.
25, yeah.
The interest rate's typically a lot worse. Our second home product has the same interest rate as a primary residence with 10% down.
Sounds like we got another video to do for that. So well, more to come. But but if you like what you saw here, but seriously, more importantly, if you know somebody who could benefit from this information, share it. We're doing this as a public service to educate the public about what is available for you, so you don't feel like, well, I have to be married to the big bank that's everywhere in the nation because I don't know where I'm going to move from hospital to hospital across the country. If you're in the Baltimore area, John is your guy. He can get you stuff that some of these big players don't even really have access to, a lot of them actually. So, but thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, please share, please comment, and we'll try to respond as much as we can too. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. As always, see you later.